Hello, hello, welcome. Hello, TikTok. Hello, everybody. I thought I will be lighter, but I don't know what I am. Okay, what about like this? Hello, good morning. Today is an interesting day. Today is full moon, going to be soon. And today also Venus, our planet of love, money, beauty, station direct finally. So it's a good day for us ladies. We finally will start feeling a little bit somewhat better. So a good a good day, maybe a little stressful because it's a full moon, but it's still very powerful, and I hope you feel this power. All right, so today we're talking about stop overgiving and start receiving. I noticed that women, especially feminine women that are in dirty femininity, they often overgive, and they overgive not because they're so generous and they want to. They overgive because of their of particular maybe standards or some kind of guilt or something. And I wanted to talk about this today and set your mind right into the right on the right path, so to say. So it is really crucial to understand how energy operates and how you should operate as a part of this world. So this was my problem as well. I was always like a serious giver. I always thought that I should give, that I'm obligated to, that I should. Like it was somewhat my issue, I could say, and thanks God I was able to overcome that issue, and I hope you will be as well. Now, when I give something to somebody, that's not because I have to or because I'm expecting something. It's because I truly, really want. Now, you must understand that in the world of energy, there is nothing positive or negative. So whether you're giving or receiving, it's equal, neutral. If you think that you are, because you're giving, you're such a much better person, you're so generous, you're so thoughtful, and now somebody who is just receiving is a bad person, you're mistaken. In the world of energy, it's neutral and actually equally good, because there must be somebody to receive and somebody to give. Like it makes the neutrality. You see, somebody gives, somebody receives. They met. It's like masculinity, femininity makes a whole. Giving and receiving also makes a whole. So it's important. If you think that if you that you are, as a giver, you're better than others who just receive, you're mistaken. Neither of you are better or good. Maybe that person that receives is actually better, because at least they're faithful to themselves, and at least they're not pretending to be something they don't want to be. So this is to start with, right? It's equally good or bad. Now, the masculinity in general, in energy, masculinity is giving, femininity is receiving. Always like this, always was like this. And if you notice, right, in couples, it's a man who gives, a woman receives. When we go to intimacy, it's a man who gives, a woman receives. I mean, in traditional couples, right? So the same with this. Now, masculinity usually giving. Why? Because it's in their core to care, to provide. They grew in it. So now, of course, they are not doing it for selfless reasons. They are supported by the feminine energy around them, so they need to support that feminine energy around them, and that's why they're giving. It's normal. Masculinity has the resources, and they exchange their resources for the resources that they need from women. Now, if you are, the more masculine you are, the more you will be a giver naturally. Now, if you are feminine like me, I'm dominantly feminine. Being a giver is not natural for me, and it shouldn't be natural for you. I don't say that you shouldn't give anybody anything and just sit on your gold. No, but you should understand or from what position you should be giving. So, if you are masculine and you love to give presents and you love to give and you love to spend money on your friends and you love this and that, right? It's okay as long as you're doing it from the right position. Now, if you do want to become feminine, if developing femininity is your goal, then you need to start not giving but receiving. It's important. You see, you will never be fully feminine if you will not learn how to receive. If receiving will not be natural for you, there won't be no intimacy between a man and a woman if a woman would not be receiving and a man will not be giving that. Who is going to do the kind of the deed, right? So it is very important, and I hope you understand. So now, if you are naturally masculine, you will be a giver. But if you want to develop femininity, you would need to get over it and start kind of receiving. And from my experience, I work with masculine ladies. It's not as easy for them to start just receiving. Usually, this is what happens. They lose the patience waiting for somebody to give them, and they basically start giving themselves, which is not exactly right. Femininity is about receiving something. Now, if you are naturally feminine, but you feel the need to give, then you are in a masculine energy. Usually, I even notice this from myself. When I'm in a very masculine energy, I feel like I need to give. I do want to give to everybody, and then I'm like, okay, so then I'm not. I'm in a pretty masculine state right now. I just need to kind of to reverse and become somewhat feminine. Now, if you're dominant and feminine and you give, you're doing it from the wrong pattern. And usually those patterns are either you have to, so societal standards, if you give, you're a good person, or you're earning some kind of validation or love or something like that, or some kind of approval, or maybe you given to give the presents back. So it's never natural for a feminine person to be a giver. Look, yesterday I was sitting in the pool and I was kind of preparing the subject. I already had it prepared, but I just wanted to polish it a little bit. And I was thinking about that, and this guy wrote to me. I haven't spoke to him in a few years, and every time he writes to me, it's always, I know why he's writing to me. He wants to grasp some energy, but the guy is feminine. He has a lot of cancer placements, so he's writing to me, and every time he's trying to get me to be sweet to him. I mean, we used to know each other a long time ago, long time ago, like 15 years ago. And yet every couple of years he's writing to me and he's trying to get some kind of good energy from me. But I don't understand why should I give him the energy. You see, he doesn't understand why he should give me. Like he doesn't send me flowers. He doesn't, he never sent me a present for my birthday, nothing like that. So he doesn't, you see, he's dominantly feminine, and therefore he doesn't understand why he should be giving. He doesn't understand why I'm not giving him like that. It was very interesting because I was thinking about it. I was focusing on this subject, and he reappeared. Like 3 years I haven't heard from him, and he reappeared. So a feminine man will think just like that, and unless a woman is smart enough to kind of to pursue him to become more masculine, he will be shocked when something will be expected from him. But we're not talking about men today. We're talking about us ladies, and us ladies has to become receivers. So usually this is what happened. You're born in a family, and that family is basically teaching you that being selfish is bad, that you need to give, that you need to kind of that you need to share, that it would be good to give. And so you start giving out of the standards that were brought on you by the society you were born in, or you're doing it as like you're trying to earn something for giving something from masculine side. This is masculine. So for example, when I was very masculine, when I used to work a lot in my previous career, I mean, I was seriously masculine. So I would actually, I would offer even something. Like, for example, I had this friend with benefits, I guess. And I would, when I would need him and his kind of emotional support, I would call him and I'm like, hey, I'm coming from the city right now. Do you want to, you want me to grab something to eat? I can come and we will have dinner together, something. So you see, I was trying to buy his affections and his love. I was masculine instead. Like it's wrong, right? I'm saying, and it does even sound wrong. So if you if so, that's basically where we're standing, right? So if you are feminine and you are giving, then it's not natural for you. People that are feminine naturally are receivers. Men, women, whoever, they are receivers. How to know whether you're feminine or masculine? Look at the six personal planets. So this is Mars, Venus, Mercury, Sun, Moon, and your rising sign. If those ones are in Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, you're dominantly feminine. If those are in Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, then you're dominantly masculine. So if you are dominantly feminine and you are giving, then you're not in the right position. You're a receiver. You're supposed to be a receiver. And I'm telling you this from my perspective. I always give, but I never felt a special satisfaction from it. And I did. I mean, I did a lot of giving in my life, and I know why I was giving. I mean, it was never out of the pure kindness of my heart. I mean, I felt good when I was giving. You know, you always kind of feel a little accomplished, so to say. You feel kind of great, but it was not that greatness that I wanted to. It was not like, oh, you know, I feel amazing doing it. It was more like I did because I had to, and thanks God that I did like that. So I even put here, and I already mentioned this, in the world of energy, there are equal amount of people who give and receive. You choose which one is you. You see, so it's up to you really. What are you going to be, a receiver or a giver? Now, if you're dominantly feminine, then you will be receiver dominantly. If you are dominantly masculine, you will be a giver dominantly. Now, if you want to develop femininity, whether you have dominantly masculine energy or feminine, you still need to be a receiver if you want to be feminine. This is very important. Now, if you you must understand. So this is how it works. If I am a giver, right, I will be attracting people that needs to receive. So we will match energetically. I could not be surrounded by people who are also givers. Then what are we going to do? Who is going to be receiving? There must be somebody who is available to receive. You see, like let's imagine I won millions in lottery, right? Now, ideally, I would want to go and stay somewhere. Let's imagine Florence in Italy. And I would want to go, and I don't want to go by myself. I have money, so I can spend. So I want to invite somebody. If I will invite my masculine friends, they're givers too. They wouldn't be going. Why? Because they're probably busy. They have life. You know, these are people that are not receivers. They won't be able to take it. They would feel obligated. They need to give also. So who's going to be my receivers? These are going to be my feminine friends or my feminine family members. So somebody who is able to receive without any kind of weirdness. And you choose who you're going to be. It doesn't mean that one is better or worse, one is higher or lower. It just means that that one is one and another is another. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean that I'm worse than a man. We're equal, right? So the same here. Whether you're receiver or giver, it's up to you. Look, it's all in your head. You just need to switch it. Once I switch it, it's like the whole life changed for me. Doesn't mean that I'm like I don't give nothing to nobody. I do. I love to give presents, but I give it from a different perspective now. I give it because I want, because something, but it's not necessarily because I have to or because I need to earn something. Now, if you think that you given because you given out of the kindness of your heart, you're mistaken. Every time you give, whether you're masculine or feminine, you're giving it for something. It's always like this. That's how the energy works. Now, it's normal. So usually, masculinity gives something to femininity, and femininity gives something to masculinity. So a man, for example, takes care of my takes care of my security, so he provides a house, a food, or something. I give him my natural energy, the pleasure, and everything. So he receives something, I receive something. Like this, it's natural, it's normal. This is an energy exchange between a man and a woman. So when you are given something, remember, consciousness is very selfish. There is no such thing there is nothing and nobody that the consciousness will choose prior to you yourself. So your consciousness is your consciousness, and therefore everything you do is naturally selfish. Like, it's normal, but we would consider it selfish. You would not do nothing for nobody just because. Even me, I want, let's say, millions of dollars. I'm going to Florence in Italy. Why do I want to drag my friends with me? Because I don't want to be alone. I want to have company. I want somebody who will be sharing the food, the good times with me. I want somebody to take pictures of me. I mean, I want all that. So I'm not really. It's not that I'm taking them out of the kindness of my heart. I mean that too, but for the most part, I'm doing it because I'm selfish. I want somebody to accompany me. I mean, let's be realistic. It's always like this. You buying presents for everybody for Christmas. I mean, why are you buying? Because yours is so nice, or because they will say, "Oh my God, this is so nice. Thank you very much," and you will be like flattered. It's normal. I want you to understand this is absolutely normal. All right. So every time you give a gift, it's you do expect something back. Unconsciously, you expect something back. It could be appreciation, could be love, could be gratitude, but you do expect something back. Maybe not exactly from the person, but from yourself. For example, you are like buying presents when like laying heavy on your shoulders, and finally you bought all those presents. You're like, I'm done. I'm closed. The project is closed. Thanks God. So uh, I put here, for example, you want to get a Christmas present. You want to get Christmas presents for others in hopes that they will give you as well. And this is unconscious, and this is just how it is. So now expectations are not normal, but the selfish kind of reasoning behind the given presents is normal. All right. So as I already stated, men give because they take a lot of energy from women around them. So they give in as kind of as the energy that they pay back. That's normal. Masculinity is like that. They don't mind and they feel great. Remember, masculinity is grows in challenges and caring for others. So they do love to give. And if masculinity doesn't feel like needed, they will find somebody who they needed. Like I was reading this story somewhere on in one of the groups on Facebook, and there was a lady, and she was basically, she couldn't understand why her husband is supporting his family somewhere back home, and he's helping some friends of his. Why couldn't he help her? But she's working and she never asked him for nothing. She's helping him all the time, so he's not needed in the relationship with her. So he's helping somebody who's not. So masculinity grows and in caring for others. If you have a man and he's not caring for you, he will find somebody who he will care for. So better make yourself a person that he cares for. This is like the easiest, and that's why this video is so important, because you need to become a receiver. If you are not a receiver, then a man will find who is a receiver. Like a long time ago, when I first came to United States, I used to be managing this little restaurant, and so I'm not going to tell you what the ethnicity is, but there was more like a traditional kind of values in that family. And I remember the owner. I mean, I worked really hard, and I thought that he should appreciate me working so hard and sacrificing, like giving. I was giving a lot. But he didn't really appreciate me. He appreciated another girl that was working over there, but she was a receiver, like a serious receiver, because it was their culture. And so he was not only giving her extra bonuses here and there, he was also, when she decided to go visit her family, he paid for her tickets, give her money for the bills and everything, and for presents. And I was shocked. I couldn't understand. I mean, I'm the one who is given here. Why do you care for her and not for me? So again, we were somewhat equal, right? We were both working there. She was managing the first shift, I was managing the second shift, and we were somewhat equal. We were all like friends. So I could not understand why she getting more than I did, because she was in her receiving state, I was in my giving state. And because I was in my given state, I mean, he didn't feel a need to give anything to me, because I didn't expect it. I wanted to give, and he wanted to give too, and that's why it didn't work like that. So if you have a man right now or admirers, you need to become you need to get into your receiving state. Otherwise, otherwise you will not be able to uh, you will not be able to develop your femininity next to this man. A woman is a receiver in the couple. All right. It's always a balance. The more receiving you are, the more you attract people who are giving. I already mentioned that. It's a balance of masculinity and femininity. You remember how I said on one of the previous videos, I think last time, that when I developed myself, I started attracting different men that were actually were able to take care of me, were able to provide security, that are like men on a different level, men that have something to give, men that have resources to kind of to help me out, or even to help themselves. So it was the change came from me. I started changing before they start appearing in my life. Before that, before I studied energy and tantra and femininity, masculinity, I always thought that I was just super unlucky, that I'm attracting men that are no good, that are unfortunate in life, that could not really provide, that don't have enough resources. I was like, why? Like why? Like there are some. I lived in New York. There are a lot of wealthy men. Why I'm attracting this kind of this kind of man? I was really shocked. Why? Because I was in a very masculine given state. So I was attracting men that were in a dirty feminine kind of receiving state. So I would be giving them and I couldn't understand why I'm giving, I'm not receiving nothing, because I was like this. You see, I had to switch it in my head that from now on I am a receiver, I am a woman, and once I accepted it, and I will tell you how to do it, you will do that also. I started attracting men that that were givers, that are masculine in masculinity. Were they perfect? No, they were not perfect, but at least that was a good change. At least, at least I knew that I could expect something good. That, that they did have money, and that I could count on them. Like with no problems. All right. So another thing that I wanted to mention is, also, in addition to that, it not necessarily will be man, it could be women or circumstances. So once you become a receiver, you will be attracting everything in your world will be a giver. So you will be receiving, maybe you will get some really good clients that would be easy, that will be just buying, I'm not sure, as much of your products. I don't know what you're selling over there. Or maybe it will be some kind of circumstances. Maybe you will get some money from somewhere. So if you will get yourself in the state of receiving, everything will be given you, and not necessarily only men. This is also important. I should say this is very important, because once I got into this state, I mean, I understand that I really don't have to work that hard. I can do what I enjoy doing, and I will be able to provide for myself. And there will be some, some other kind of means. So, all right. Another point here is you are deserving, so you don't need to deserve to be a receiver. Again, this is just a role. A woman and a man. It's a role. A giver and receiver is a role too. Somebody has to be like in a receiving role. Like if everybody would be a giver, who is going to receive? It would be a strange world. So whether you want it or not, somebody has to become a receiver. So why not you? Take it upon you. Take this burden on you. And it's it's very important to understand that it's equally important. Giving is important, but receiving is important too. If nobody will receive, then how will the masculinity ever develop? Now, being in a kind of um, like in a begging role, when you're begging for something, when you want somebody to get you something, but you really don't know how, and you kind of humiliate yourself, and you in this kind of shortage mindset, it's never good. So this is not a receiver. This is more. This is not exactly receiving. Is something like, okay, you want to give me flowers? All right, that's fine. I guess I can take them, like that. You graciously accepting something. I will put the video on self-worth and the art of acceptance here too. They are very very similar to this video, but somewhat different. So Anyways, somebody has to receive, take it on you. There is no awkwardness. It's nothing wrong. Again, in the world of energy, it's even, both of them. So somebody has to give, somebody has to receive. If you want to be feminine woman, then start receiving. That's it. Decide to yourself, I'm going to receive, and that's how it is. I know you probably were brought up like I was, where it was frowned upon to be only a selfish receiver, but that was their perception and their wrong standard. I would say that my parents were good receivers. They were um, pretty self-conscious, so to say. And they were kind of putting in us that being a receiver is not so good, that you need to be not, you shouldn't be selfish, that you should be giving. Surprise, surprise. I mean, it's so strange to hear that from them, and they were actually very self-centered. So I don't say that it was bad, it was actually good, and I'm happy that I have these parents, because these parents on the example showed me how I should have been. Their words were actually, but it was their words that I took into consideration, not their actions. All right. So it's closed. I mean, somebody has to be receiver, be receiver, especially if you want to develop your femininity. You will never develop your femininity if you will not learn how to receive. Now, with the receiving, the main thing is to learn how to accept. If you don't know how to accept, then your mind will protect you from this awkwardness. For example, you're going outside, like yesterday, I was walking in the building, and there was this guy. It's a Jewish holiday today, so he was offering some kind of food. I'm not sure, it was something, and I'm not Jewish really, but but I mean, I told him I'm not Jewish, but he's like, yes, take it. I'm like, okay, thank you. And you see, but if I would be like, no, 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 I'm not Jewish. No, I know I don't deserve it like this, it would be awkward. He felt good because he gave me, and I felt good because I accepted it. And that's it. You see, so you need to learn how to accept. Or for example, your man is giving you a present and you're like all awkward because you think that it's a super expensive present and you don't deserve it. So you need to get rid of the awkwardness. If the awkwardness will not go, your mind will protect you. Awkwardness will become a threat, and your mind will protect from it. So I will put the video of Art of Acceptance. Watch that. I'm not going to waste time here. Now, whenever you receive something, you give in another party the feeling of their accomplishment. So whenever you receive something, it's like you need to make sure that you don't feel indebted. All you did your part in the world of energy. So somebody is given, somebody has to receive. You see, and that's what it is. You're not indebted to anybody. I remember a long time ago, I was working corporate, and I decided to buy presents for all my colleagues. So I was recently promoted, and I was making really good money, much more than everybody else. And I felt a little guilt for that, which was really bad, but still, that was how it was. So I decided to splurge and buy everybody a Christmas present. I mean, they were not very expensive, but still I bought for like almost the whole team. Plus I took everybody out, and I felt very accomplished, very masculine. Even though I didn't felt great that I was spending money, I felt like I had to do that. So I bought everybody a present, and then I was shocked that not everybody kind of give me a present. Can you imagine? I gave the presents, and then I was like expecting a present back. And the people who gave me the present back would also in the feminine kind of dirty state, when they just wanted to get this debt off their shoulders. So I was also admiring two people that they were very gracious in receiving the presents, and they didn't feel anyhow indebted. So this is how you should be. You need to make sure that you don't feel that you're indebted. You are doing your part in the world of, like in the work of energy. Somebody has to receive, somebody has to give, and you're just part of that. If you will be fighting the giver, then you will make the giver feel awkward, yourself feel awkward. It's like you are disrupting the energy. Now, how to stop overgiving, how to stop all this kind of the pattern, right? So our consciousness is selfish. I already mentioned that, and because our consciousness is selfish, our consciousness always wants something. Even if let's say my parents would tell me, "Oh, you need to give something." I mean, I was given not because I needed to give. I was given because I wanted to earn my parents' good kind of approval, right? Then my parents' validation. So I would tell my parents, I give this girl something, a little present, and she was very happy. And they would tell me, oh, Anastasia, you're so good job, like this. I was not given because I wanted to make the girl happy. I was given because I needed the validation from my parents. You see, my consciousness was given for a selfish reason, and that reason was to get that something from my parents. And so it's always like this. Now you're grown up, you already don't need the validation from your parents, but you still kind of trying to get that validation or something else. It's not necessarily validation, it could be something else, but it's always something from the perspective that I'm giving for something. Now what you need to do, you need to find the reason of what is it that you're given for, what, like what is your selfish reason. For example, you want to gather your whole family for Christmas, right? Or Easter is coming, so you want to gather all your family, you want to do kind of a dinner. You don't really naturally is a giver, but you do this. Like, what is your selfish reason? What are you trying to do? If you are getting everybody together because you believe that you need this kind of unity, right? You want to get the family together. You need to feel like you're in the strong family. Everybody's together. Then this is what you need. You need unity, and then you need to give yourself what are you so much looking from others. Usually people that need unity need to feel like their family is strong, like everybody's everybody in the family is still with them or something. They usually have like a disrupted personal life. So why not to give unity to yourself? That's what you need to do. Or for example, if you are giving somebody a present because you need some kind of approval, let's imagine you go and I don't know, you're invited to a birthday and you almost don't know that person, but you feel like you can't just show up to a birthday with empty hands, right? So you need to buy a present or flowers. So why not to buy flowers and just go without a present? You don't even know the person. Why would you buy a present? Now you would buy a present. Why? Because you need to be you need what? You want to feel great because the person, oh my God, thank you very much. I mean, I didn't even expect it. Or you want to feel like accepted. Everybody's like, good job, Anastasia. But but the gift, like, what is that you need now? Whatever it is, or do you need like everybody's love? I had this friend, he has a lot of Leo placements, so he would be buying presents left and right just so people will love him and everybody speak about him, that he's such a generous, like loving person. Really, he was just working on his ego, very inflated, by the way, but people were using him just because of that. So anyways, what is it that you're looking for? And then give it to yourself. Find it in you. Don't even give it, find it in you. So if you're going to a birthday and you need approval that you're a good person, you don't need to do that. You're already a good person. I'm telling you that. You're a good person. You don't need to jump hoops to prove anything to yourself. This is important. Once you will find the reason why you're giving, and you will find it in you, you will never be a giver again. I guarantee you. The good thing though, if you're feminine, you can find it much faster, because remember, femininity is inside, masculinity is outside. Masculinity is controlling outside, trying to do everything outside because they need to kind of control. They're doing actions outside. So it's easier for them to buy a present to somebody and somebody will tell me, oh my God, you're so good, you're so generous. You see, it's much easier for them. I can find it in me that I'm great and generous. I don't even need to give nothing, so somebody will tell me that. I want you to understand this and remember this. Find the reason why you're giving something. Find it in you, and you will never be given again. Like me, this is what I did. I did it a long time ago. I had this mentor and I was talking to her only about this, like a few items like this, but this was really, really bothering me because I felt like I'm not deserving of anything unless I'm giving something to somebody, like something, not necessarily presents. It could be some kind of value, maybe helping with the homework when I was in school, or something, or helping at work to my colleagues, something like that. And I really worked in finance at that time, and I had really two co-workers that were that were pretty selfish, honestly. And I was talking to her about that, and she said, "You're looking for some kind of something from them, and you need to find it in you." And I did find it in me. And one of those, once I found it in me, what I was looking from them, I basically stopped. I stopped helping them, and it was so natural. One of them was promoted, so he was moved to another department, and another just left the company and went somewhere else. So it was ideal. And the two other people that came on their places, they were absolutely so natural givers. They always wanted to help me, always go somewhere, buy muffins, bring me something. So you see, I became a receiver now. People around me changed naturally and harmonious. It was no trouble at all. So but again, so I was when I was working with her, I could not really grasp what she was telling me, like, because I could not admit to myself that I was giving to somebody for something. Like, she told me, "You're helping others because it gives you some kind of benefit. What is that benefit?" And I'm like, "No, I'm helping because who else is going to help them? Because we work together, because I have to help them, because and she's like, "No, consciousness is always selfish. You're helping them because you're getting something. What are you getting?" And we would go back and forth like this, until finally I understood what she was trying to install in my in my brain. And once I found out that I wanted to be a good girl, kind of a team player. And I wanted all that, and this was my kind of my contribution for those favors, so to say. So once I found out that I don't need really to do anything to be a team player, to be a good employee, I basically, I realized I'm already a good employee. All my clients are happy. I mean, I'm having amazing numbers. Like, I'm a good team player. If needed, I'm always able to attend, but I don't need to help them, sacrificing my own kind of peace of mind. And once I did all that, once I realized that I already am all that, I stopped helping. Like, they stopped asking me. And then one of them transitioned, one of them left, and it was just, that's it. After that, I never helped nobody. I mean, I help eventually here or there if I need to. I don't mind, but it was not from a wrong position of earning something, wanting something. You see, I want you to understand this. Once you will understand this, you will become a receiver, not a giver. Good, but give yourself something that you are trying to get these days. And this is exactly what happened with the man. Once I start working on my self-love, that would be my next point. But once I start working on my self-love, when I start working on how amazing I am, on the pleasure inside of me, on my femininity, I realized I'm such an amazing woman. Any man will want me. I don't need to buy a dinner for him to kind of to spend an evening with me. He wants to spend the evening with me. And all those men that I had in my life that were not very very strong, very secure, very somewhat maybe wealthy with the good careers or something, they all kind of fell off. Little by little, they all fell off. And the guy that wrote me yesterday, he was one of those guys. And he fell off too. Yesterday, he was just like a reminder of Anastasia. Remember how it was, and I'm happy that they all fell off naturally. It was not like I stopped talking to them. No, it just naturally happened, and I started attracting men that were receivers. You see, so it was all in my mind. In my mind, I had to change it. And the last point that you need to do, you basically, as always, you need to work on your self-love. Usually people are looking for validation and love when they don't have it inside. And when you're masculine, it's a little hard to kind of to develop, because you're masculine. Masculinity is not about self-love. Masculinity is more about self-care. But if you're feminine, if you have a lot of feminine energy, or if you want to become feminine, then you need to work on self-love. I'll put this video in here too. And the more you love yourself, the more people love you. The more you love yourself, the more you naturally start receiving. You need to heal your inner child, as I always tell you, and start increasing the self-love. It's actually very easy. Spend like 5-10 minutes a day just sitting and feeling this love in your heart. Um, I will also add the video on the fourth chakra, on the love, on the heart chakra. Just feel like it's expanding, and your whole body just becomes this kind of this huge ball of love. And the more you will the more you will have love, the more naturally and harmoniously you will be also receiving presents, receiving everything that comes your way. You will not feel any kind of awkwardness because you love yourself, so it's natural that you should be receiving something like that. And that's it basically. So to sum it up, everything that I've been saying, if you have questions, do ask. But to sum it up, um, giving and receiving in the world of energy is equal. If you think that you are giving and you're such a good person, you're mistaken. Giver and receiver are equal in the in the world of energy. You both need it. If everybody would be giving, who is going to be receiving? You see, so it's important. Feminine energy should be a receiver, so masculinity will grow in their giving. And I know a lot of men who live with women that don't really know how to accept it, are not receivers, and then they start giving to somebody else, not necessarily to another woman. Like I have a friend, I already spoke about him. His wife is awkward like that, you know. So he invests in different projects. He loses millions and millions of dollars just because he doesn't know. He needs to give to something to somewhere. I mean, like the guy is so smart and everything, but sometimes he get on this weird kind of projects and he loses money. But all he needs to do, he needs to give to somebody. He needs a good receiver, and his wife is not a very good receiver. You see, so he's looking for who will receive that the gracious help that he's putting on them. So in the world of energy, giver and receiver are equal, and you will not lose your crown if you will become a receiver, and you also will not have a grant the crown if you will become more giver. It's not all equal. Now remember, you are given always from your consciousness is selfish, so you're always given for your own reason. Masculinity is usually giver, femininity receiver. Why? Because it's natural to us and to overall world. Masculinity gives, femininity receives. Um, um, Always like this. You go to basics. It's even in intimacy. It's like this: a man gives, a woman receives. Right. So if you're inspired to be a feminine woman, then you need to learn how to be a receiver. You will never become a feminine woman if you will not learn how to receive. It's not necessarily in a relationship with men. It's with everybody. A woman receives, and then she converts everything she receives into something. It's how it is. It's it's normal, right? So if you are dominantly feminine, you will be dominantly receiver. If you are dominantly masculine, you will be dominantly giver. If you want to develop femininity, you need to become a receiver, even if you are dominantly masculine. Now it's absolutely natural to be both. Me as a feminine woman doesn't mean I don't give nothing to nobody. I do give. I just give it when I feel like, when it's natural to me. So, but most of the time I'm kind of in a receiving state. If you are a feminine woman naturally and you do give, then you are in a natural state for you in a masculinity. And you're doing it from one of two roles. Either it's a societal standard, you believe that you have to, or you are earning something. You're kind of trying to earn something that you need from the other person. Now, you also need to remember that um, every time you give, you do expect something back. This is natural. Now as long as you don't have a huge expectations, the expectations will make you unhealthy. Men give because they take energy from women. This is normal. Somebody has to be a receiver, somebody has to be a giver. Why not to be you a receiver? I mean, since you're already a woman, most of people that listen to me are women, so if you're a woman, then why not for you to be a receiver? People around you, circumstances will correspond to your state. If you are a giver, then you will be attracting people, circumstances that will require you to give to them, to invest in them, to to help them. Maybe if you will be in a receiving state, then you will be attracting people that will be givers, that will want to give, that will have the ability to give, that will want to share. It's always like this. Not necessarily man in your life. It could be somewhere else. I mean, I don't know, maybe France. One of my clients, she had this friend, so she's from a little kind of on a wealthy side family, and she always had friends that she had to pay for them, like they go on a trip, she's paying, they go in somewhere, they're paying. And when she started working with me, we basically switched it for her. It was a little hard for her, but right now she has different kind of friends that are actually on the same level as she is, and they are actually, paying. I guess they even more wealthy, because sometimes they do book the trip, sometimes they book the private flights, and she is receiving now. So it's always like this, up to you. What are you going to be? Make sure you know how to accept. In the watch the video Art of Acceptance. Accepting is important. It's part of your feminine nature. When you receive, remember that you're doing a favor for the masculinity around you. You're not indebted. You're basically allowing them to express themselves, which is also a good thing. Because if nobody would receive, then how? I mean, how the world will be, right? So it's absolutely normal. Make sure that whatever you are given for right now, give it to yourself. So let's imagine, I don't know, what could be. Let's imagine you're buying presents to all your cousins. You have 20 cousins, and you make sure that every one of them receives a birthday present from you. Now, why are you buying them presents? I mean, so they will all say how good you are. Like, what is it? If this is the case, then you just need to tell yourself, I am already good. I'm just an amazing person. They love me as I am, and that's it. So you need to find why you're giving, and then what is the reason? What is the result that you're trying to find, trying to receive, and then just find that something already in you. Don't give it to yourself. Find it in you. It's already in you. So if you want to know that you're loved and you're accepted and you're such a good person, good meaning convenient, just find it in you. You're already loved. You're already accepted. You already have it in you. Once you realize it, once you find it, you will stop giving. You will see. You will stop giving very, very fast. I mean, it was like this for me within 2 weeks, I think. And the last one, work on your self-love. Self-love is crucial. So love for yourself. The more you give yourself love, the more your inner child feels loved, the less it wants to look for that love, that acceptance, that appreciation from others. And the more you will be able to share that love with others and receive something in return. I mean, it sounds a little bad, the giving receiving is like very transactional, but it's absolutely natural. Even like, you see, if a couple is married, right, a man is taking care of the woman, and the woman is giving him the emotional support, the pleasure, the everything, it doesn't sound transactional when you speak like this. So in the world of energy, it's all like that. It's just, you just need to accept it and decide on which side of the barricade you're going to be, and that's it. I mean, the world is very diverse, and you can be a giver and have only receivers around you, or you can become a receiver and have only givers around you. Just choose where you want to be. Understand that in the world of energy, they're both equal. Understand that somebody has to be a receiver. Give yourself what you find in yourself, what you so urgently need from others, and you will be fine. You will become receiver. I told you, when it clicked in my head, it took me like 2 weeks only. Yeah, I remember it was spring. It was spring. It was still very cold, and I remember it clicked, and I was sitting in the car. And the next day I came to work, and I'm like, I don't need to do nothing. I didn't need to help anybody. And the whole day, nobody really asked me for anything. It was amazing. And then the next day, one of the guys was told that he's promoted, and another, and like a few days after, the other one quit. So, and my friends, the friends that always needed me, and I needed them. I needed to give them. So got, oh, thank you very much. What would I do without you? All this. I mean, they also some kind of dissolved. One went back to her country. So miraculously somehow my all this crowd of receivers, they just disappeared naturally, kind of dissolved themselves, and I started attracting people that were givers. You see, it took 2 weeks, only 2 weeks. You can do it. I was able to do it. You can do it too. Now, I'm naturally feminine, so it was natural for me to become a receiver. You see, somebody who is naturally masculine might be a little harder because they do like to do actions, they like to control everything in their life, so might be not as easy, but you can do it, you can do it. I Because I had masculine clients and they were able to turn it around, so you will be able to do it. Just don't run into don't don't rush into changing. Energy changes itself, and changes pretty fast. All right, that's it. Send it to anybody. Send this video to anybody who is struggling with that, who is have this obligations in their head that they need to give, that they need to help, that they need to support. You don't. You will choose whether you're going to be a giver or a receiver. I'm telling you this. And the world will accommodate you. The world will change towards you. You will see. Always works like that. All right. If you have any questions, ask. If not, then we're going to finish. You see how I learned to speak fast now. I learned to put everything in within an hour. Remember also, if you're a woman and you do want to become feminine, you will need to learn how to receive. You will need to become a receiver. A woman that is a giver will never be feminine, because femininity is about receiving and converting into something great, into something different. You see, a woman receiving a sperm from a man, she makes a baby. She could not give her egg in hopes that he will somehow make the baby. I mean, right now you can do that, I guess, outside, but that's not how it works. So you need to receive to convert it into something different. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I do hope I inspired you. I'm going to send this to a couple of my to a couple of my clients, but do please send it to women that are having troubles with that. I do want to inspire. Look, Venus went direct today. This is our planet of femininity, of love, and everything. It's time for women to kind of to become more feminine. It's in the sign of Pisces right now, and this is a very feminine placement for Venus. So it's a good time to kind of to become a receiver and allow men to be masculine, to be man that they want to be. All right, that's it. I'll see you on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we're going to talk about, I think, about women energy of fire and how they can become feminine. Because I always thought that I never spoke really about separately about every energy. So it's going to be women energy of fire and how they can become feminine, and then I will do about women energy of air, water, and earth, and how each of those energies can convert their strengths into femininity. Because we all have strengths, and those strengths might work for somebody, might not work for somebody else. All right, so I'll see you on Wednesday at 6 p.m. by TikTok. Thank you for all your loves. I'll see you on Wednesday. By YouTube. I'll see you on Wednesday at 6. Enjoy your weekend. Stay sane. It's full moon, but it will be fine. You will be fine. A very powerful time for women. Enjoy it. Bye, everybody.